knowledge that is power. And just think of knowledge as no ledge, baby, no fear. Every step stronger for all of us.
Yoo-hoo! Just got out of the water. Beautiful wind and sea in San Diego. Best way to acclimate yourself, get in the natural body of water, get some movement in, get some surfing. Feeling so good right now. And then later today, we're gonna go meet David Weck. I'm excited, head over foot guy, ropes, pulsers. He's just a good guy that's promoting natural movement, that's promoting a different message. So we want to see what's up to him. I've made it to the Weck Method Lab in downtown San Diego. I'm excited to be here. This is a very special occasion for a couple reasons. The first is because my original, one of my original movement mentors, Jose Bosch, used to be friends with David Weck. If you don't know, Jose Bosch created the movement system Gait, which has been sold and he's no longer a part of it. So when I came up underneath Gil, whenever Weck was talked about, it was not painted in a positive light. It was pretty negative, actually. It's this classic dogmatic thinking that is plaguing right now the movement, strength conditioning world, where somebody's beliefs and another person's beliefs don't always match. They're very similar, but because they don't match, because they don't see eye to eye, because they're not under the same umbrella of a brand, of a business, they end up becoming mortal enemies. And so there's a lot of up-and-coming coaches, new generations of strength coaches, movement coaches, physical therapists, who, because of technology, because of Instagram, can see the entire playing field, what's happening in the strength conditioning room, in the professional setting, and then even the CrossFit and general population, everyday bodybuilding gyms, all the way to these fringe alternative movement systems that are arising, everything from Weck Method, functional patterns, even ATG, Gait, the list goes on and on and on. These brands are being created because ultimately there is a huge gaping hole that the strength conditioning, physical therapy, physio, and even the chiropractic world is not able to fill. And what they're not filling is a general physical education and preparedness for everyday people. And so when there's this big hole of general physical preparedness and education on natural movement, on healthy ways that we can exercise, play sports, do hobbies, live our lives to support our bodies, when there is not that, everybody feels the negative repercussions of that. We're basically in a state of unawareness on how to move our bodies, how to really prepare ourselves for an entire lifetime of being a human, of moving throughout our life, and in all ways, in sport, in hobby, and just moving about our home and doing the daily tasks of what it means to be a human. So no matter if you're an athlete or a normal person, you feel these effects, and these effects are pain. You've got knee pain, chronic pain, back pain, neck and shoulder pain. All of these chronic pains are on the rise, as well as our non-catastrophic injuries. Injuries are also on the rise. So it's a very interesting situation that we have ourselves in, because we have the most amount of injuries, we have the most amount of pain, but we also have the most amount of physios, PTs, and chiros, and strength conditioning coaches and gyms than we've ever seen before. So you would expect that if we have a huge amount of physical therapists, chiropractors, and providers to help support and nourish our body, that the injury and chronic pain would diminish, because we've got so many soldiers on the front lines doing this work. But it's not. It's continuing to increase exponentially each year. And what can we assume from that? We can assume that there are some pieces that we're missing, and there's something in our lifestyle, all of our lifestyle, that is contributing to the overall breaking down, degradation of the human body in terms of its capability to move, in its capability to regenerate and heal itself, in its ability to just be pain-free, which I believe is our birthright. So it's really cool for this because I'm coming to see David Weck. He invited me out here. We're going to be good friends. We already started meeting and wrestling at the Uberzadi event outside the box.
With the whole key. Oh, yes! 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 This old man got some tricks up his sleeve.
I'm excited because I feel like I'm going to be able to do some generational trauma healing and just being friends. He has his views on movement. I have my views on movement. I have a model of movement. He has a model of movement. He's a coach. He's a business owner. He's an entrepreneur. I'm a coach. I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur as well. And just because we don't see everything completely eye to eye, because we're not under the same brand company umbrella, that doesn't mean that we can't be friends. That doesn't mean that we can't collaborate. That doesn't mean that we can't share ideas, because ultimately this hole, this gap is something that he and I, both of us, want to contribute, fill, help, and bring awareness to all of us, all of us to fill the gap, really. Filling the gap looks like the next generation, the kids that are coming up, the next youth athletes, the next generation has less chronic pain, has less injury, and more awareness on how to move. They're better athletes. They're just better humans all around. That's what we care about. That's what we want. The mission of Primal Movement is to inspire, educate, and coach the natural movements of the human body. And David Weck is doing a really good job of exposing and talking about some of the natural movements that are required for us to move forward.
Running and walking are 1 foot at a time. In order to find balance on 1 foot, with a neutral spine, the head has to be aligned directly over that foot. So my foot on the ground and my head have to have perfect alignment if I have a neutral spine in order for me to balance. And you can test this for yourself by just standing normally. Don't move your head and try and lift your foot. You'll find that you don't have balance.
He's a locomotive-based coach, which is where eventually we should all be, focusing on what the human body is designed to do, which is to walk and run and move forward. And how do we protect that? How do we encourage that at a young age and just really solidify your ability to walk, run, and move forward like so well, durably, without any kind of pain? So I'm excited because I get to heal some generational trauma, and I get to connect with him, another person who helps me on my mission, which is to provide to you, to provide to the world, inspiration, education, and coaching on the natural movements of the human body. I don't care what kind of brand you're under. I don't care what philosophies. I don't care what color skin you are. I don't care what religion that you have. But if you're talking about movement and you're talking about some really healthy things, man, I'm excited to talk to you. I'm excited to hang out with you. I'm excited to move with you, learn all of these things. And I'm so grateful that David Weck is willing to open up his doors to me. And especially being a former GOTA person, you know, at one point, I'm sure that he thought that I was the enemy. In fact, he still is blocking me on Instagram. I can't even tag him. And he blocked me long before he even knew who I was. Once in a lifetime thing, David Weck has just unblocked me.
Well, no, because this is what happened. I have to block thousands of people.
I have to block thousands of people, and now what?
We're going to have some cool content. We're going to do a podcast. We're going to do a lot of really cool things. And this new age that he is part of, this new age of coaches who are saying, we're done with the backstabbing, with the negative talking, with this saying, this person doesn't know this, blah, 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 and all of that. That's a scarcity mindset. That's a fear-based mindset. We're not afraid, and we don't have that anymore. What we need is collaboration, communication, community. We need these three things, the 3 C's: collaboration, community, communication. If we have those things, then the general population is going to have a better idea on what it is that we're talking about. Okay, when somebody from the outside, and this was me at one point, is looking in and seeing all these different movement systems and seeing their different languages and models they've created, and then we're also watching them badmouth each other, argue online, telling each other this person is that person, and do all these kind of weird arguments that we get into because of our egos, it just confuses the audience. It confuses the general population. And people are already so confused on, how do I even move my body? How do I even breathe? How do I even walk? Like, these are legitimate questions that people have and spend a lot of time trying to master and understand so they can live a better life, so they can have a higher quality of life, because they know that if they move better, that if they breathe better, that if they think better, that their quality of life is immediately going to increase. So let's break down those walls. Let's break down that ego that wants to say, I know more than you, and blah, 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 blah. And let's just say, hey, let's come together, let's collaborate, let's communicate, and let's connect. I think that was the third one. And let's see if we can just shed more light on natural movement, on human movement. And oh my goodness, that fires me up. And I know that David Weck is all about shedding light. So thank you for tuning in. We're about to hit the lab.
I still love you.
Your name is Bam. Bam, 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 bam. I'm just not comfortable.
I know.
I'm just not comfortable. Ow! You bony little rib! I'm going to explain the benefits of limit force elastic resistance. If I have a slingshot here and I had 62 pounds of force on it, the marble is going to reach the ground exponentially faster than if I have the 62 pounds and I do that. Now, they're both important forms of resistance, but the advantage in using the elastics to buttress the mass force is there is an urgency to the force. The same 62 pounds that would register on the scale, that one's there, and that one's 9.8 meters per second squared. So what you're able to do is you're able to potentiate this post-activation potentiation from the limit force elastic especially. If I have an elastic band and I'm not at limit, well, now I'm not stimulating that nervous system where I have to be in that full charge. So when I get it and it's at limit, bang, it's so fast. And it provides all sorts of athletic advantages, especially when you know how to funnel it into a coil where there's no compensation. I'm poised to pounce, and it's now if I need it. These leather things are slippery, but I love them, and they're custom, and you can get them at Buffalo Boot Trading Post, buffaloboottp.com. Ask for Tony and tell him David Weck sent you. Yes, we did.
Welcome to the Primal Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Bam, and today I'm very excited to introduce Uncle Weck. Where did that acronym come from? Where did people start to call you Uncle Weck from?
Uncle Weck is a character that I created who is extremely angry at the injustice of being persecuted and vilified for being the inventor of the Bosu ball. And now my job is to be more like you, where it's not this acerbic vinegar, like, okay, like I used to say, okay, this peer review, they're a tomato. That tomato is overripe and it's pulling on, it's aimed right at the wall, and I have salted the floor, okay? Yeah. And so splat ketchup. And you got no choice. Why? Because Fosbury, high jump. You have to do the technique, and Dick Fosbury doesn't matter.
We'll talk about Fosbury because I had to learn about who Dick Fosbury was yesterday. What I really appreciate about the work that you're doing is that you are shaking things up, because right now the common narrative in the strength conditioning movement understanding is that in order to be a healthy human and a better athlete, that your spine should remain stiff, locked, straight, and then your stomach should be tight and brace.
No.
At all times.
No, if your stomach is sucked in at all, you are not the barrel,
It should
okay?
be-
The
it should be
coconut. No,
pushed-
you have to
pushed
be
out.
pressurized to be
Yes.
stiff, and you need to blow out. And listen, it's both sides utilized. Because if you're in martial arts, trust me, it works to get the stomach in and roll the pelvis, so you got all that stuff, okay? So it's not all just lifting barbells. And I love lifting barbells because barbells are perfectly balanced, unless Chris Chamberlain's using it. He doesn't care about perfect balance, he's so strong. Yeah. And you can load up more pressure. Strength is pressure management. Sit so I'm not right in the middle.
So before, it was Uncle Weck. Somehow
Uncle
that
Weck
came about online?
Yeah. Well, I created Uncle Weck. Oh yeah.
You were like, I need to embody this archetype.
Well, no, I guess without conscious understanding that uncle is the archetype, an esteemed fellow at the National Strength and Conditioning Association posting on social media a Bosu ball and a gentleman standing on the thing with a big red X saying, "This will not make you stronger. While I will acknowledge that it may have some benefit for little runty nonsense in rehab, you will not get stronger." It's like, come on, that's not true. And why are you doing it? Right, so I'm actually a nice guy.
I love this because I don't know why this has happened. Well, actually I do. It's because people are insecure and they're scared they're not gonna make money and whatever. But online, and I think we're changing this with the triple C's, just so everyone is aware, David has invented Bosu ball, propulsors, the ropes, many other toys.
Rope flow.
There's so many things that you have invented that help everyday people, the clubs, everyday people move in different ways and feel different things in their body that help them connect to their natural movement, the natural way that the body's supposed to move, which is a very positive thing. And when you put that out in the world, for some reason, people want to say why these tools, why these methods are no good. Instead of just staying in their lane and doing their thing and putting out their own tools, whatever they want,
right.
There is this culture of when I put somebody down, it builds me up. It's not true. That's not true, but that's what we believe. It's a classic schoolyard bully. If I put this person down, then maybe I can build myself up.
Yes. Crabs in a bucket, want to pull the crab down who wants to get out of the bucket, okay? And I want to get out of the bucket just so I can help knock over the bucket. With the Bosu ball, there is professional usage. It's a useful tool. It is nothing more. It is nothing less. And it offers a training stimulus that is unique in the sense that you have a balance of stable and unstable. BOSU. Balance of stable, unstable. When the dome is up, the device is stable. It's a trampoline that is convex that makes your ankles learn how to land outside and come inside. It's not a trampoline that's going to dip you into the pronation first. So we get the outside edge to the inside edge, outside edge to inside edge. And if I want to reduce non-contact injuries, which is my sort of cause célèbre, one of them, okay, what I want to do is I want to run neural engrams that enhances that person's ability to fight, flight, response ability. That's the foundation. Survival. Oxygen to the brain. The lower brain's going to keep you alive, even if you have to jump off the bridge because you can't hold your breath to end it for you. Because the lower brain wants you to live, right? And if you're a man, your lower brain wants you to provide and protect, and then, if you are so inclined to do that, to procreate, okay? And then, God forbid, that you are sold the Brooklyn Bridge, that you got to stiffen your core and you have to keep it stiff against like a force this way, when all you got to do is turn and face the force to be effective. I'm going to defend the indefensible, and my body and the nervous system is going to get tight, and the tension is going to rise, and suddenly now I'm incapable of fight and flight response ability because the deer is stuck. Oh no, dude. Get out of the way. And if you use locomotion, your ability to move yourself from here to there as your standard, that you're going to establish physical integrity and you're going to maintain physical integrity, now you have a chance at not suffering back pain because you were sweeping the stoop and now my back went out. And now 10 years later, I have ulcers and whatever because all the pain medicines and the doctor, you know, whatever. So this is an opportunity for us, humankind, to not be mean, but to be helpful, and we do it with physical integrity so that you can't fake that. 10 push-ups, okay, can't fake it. Can't buy it, 10 push-ups, right? Can't. I don't care, rich man, poor man, rich dad, poor dad. 10 push-ups, 10 push-ups, and what you said don't matter, it's what you do and what you did. That's what it is. And it's about being better yourself. You're competing with yourself. And I'm uncomfortable on the floor right now.
So you
and let me just say this aside here.
Yeah.
Bam gets
show the
Bam
people
gets
what
a
this book
copy.
you got.
7 Postures, Cadorziani. This man here, Bam, the movement coach on the move, is a floor-based expert. I looked at it all my life and I'm not gonna get on the floor, it's uncomfortable. And so now I'm taking my medicine. Right, I'm gonna practice. No, seriously. I'm gonna practice. Good. Yes, because I'm putting in the effort with correct intent.
What we have been doing in terms of physical training is resisting gravity, doing a lot of resistance training. And this resistance training has resulted in a behavior change in people becoming a deer in the headlight. They're locked in they can't do a fight, they can't do a flight, they're locked into the freeze mentality. So what you're alluding to, which is a very, very important concept that some people agree with, some people disagree with, I think eventually we're gonna agree with, that when you're training, especially when you're training movement, the intention that you have will eventually change your behavior, who you are as a person. So it's not just, I'm just getting bigger muscles. When you're training to get bigger muscles, you're also training the entire thing. You cannot take your nervous system, your muscles, and just nicely separate them and just increase one without changing the other.
Sure.
So when we make these adaptations of fighting gravity, of training in some ways that are counterproductive to what the human does, which is locomotion, the ability to move through time and space, all that good, great stuff. When we do that, we constrain ourselves into a free state. When you constrain yourself into a free state, then we have increase in pain, we have a decrease in capacity to live our lives, and the other side of that is intentional training that is locomotive based, and when you do that, magical things happen. And this is your message, this is your mission, is to promote this. Is this correct?
The most important phrase that you can understand and abide is relate to gait, okay? Relate to gait is how you will funnel the force fluidly through the fascia to the floor, send a perfect pitch down, that's a perfect meatball to hit a home run with every step that you take. Okay,
Correct.
Bo Jackson, born that way, is better than Brian Bosworth, built up to that, okay? And it's still good to build up. But if you relate to gait such that every step you take is big cat, you're never out of balance, compensating, fighting against yourself, you don't even know it,
Yeah.
right? So basically, if you relate to gait, now you can take all exercise stimuli and you can funnel it to the floor. Then suddenly the barbell becomes, it's not just a back squat, it's, do we want to do it with internal torsion emphasis? Do we want to do it with external torsion emphasis? Do we want to transition with it? There's so many ways that you can use the tool, right, as the stimuli, and you use it for what it is good at according to how does it relate to gait.
Most people, and a lot of young people, especially young males, one thing that is a big pet peeve of mine, they are so concerned with, and you'll see this all over, I need to squat twice my body weight, I need to bench my body weight, and I need to deadlift 2.5 pounds. And if I can't do
No, that's sissy.
those
Bench
three
your
things.
body weight, 2 times body weight. No, I want 3 times. I want 3.5 times. Bench
But-
twice.
These numbers, whatever
Right.
metric you
Right.
use,
Right.
those become the foundational things that I need to achieve those metrics. And
Right.
if I don't achieve those things, I'm not an athlete, I'm not a good human,
It's-
I'm not something like strong.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you and I both know that if you continually use those metrics, the squat, the bench, and the dead, to for everything. Those are your base food pyramid. Those are your get your grains in, which is your barbell. Eventually, your spine will be stiff. You will have a very hard time to coil. It'll be difficult. And this is my story.
Okay. So let me just unpack that a little bit, because here's what I'm saying. I'm saying you can have your cake and eat it too. Okay. A bigger bench is better. A bigger squat is better. Okay, provided it is not eroding your capacity to fucking shift your weight and balance. So what I'm saying is, I am saying that if you relate to gait from the beginning, begin with the end in mind. If you want to power lift, well then that's your sport. But if you want to lift for football, basketball, baseball, track, which is an advantage, well then you have to begin with the end in mind. How are you going to funnel that force to the floor fluidly through the fascia? And if I'm not beginning there, then everything you said is correct. I have an external goal. You will never get more than an order of magnitude greater in an external. Okay, if I bench press 100, I will never bench press 1,000. That's just a tenfold, that's an exponential order. 10 times 10. Now, if I go internal, with intent, when range of motion ends, intent keeps going. It is infinitesimal intent that creates the all capacity.
I need to go to the gym and I need to pump iron so my shoulders get broader. I put that through my filter at 10-12 and I was like, that doesn't seem like the answer.
Well, it can't be your answer. You're small.
I'm a small guy.
You know what I'm saying?
So I said, that doesn't really work. I need to actually learn how to protect myself and fight. So this what you laid out on the beach, the guy that steals my girl, so I need to go to the gym and get strong. That's actually not true. You don't need to go to the gym.
You have to learn how to fight.
You have to learn how to fight. So you actually have to learn how to move.
Yes.
Not alter your physiology.
No, both.
You can do both.
See, here's the thing. You are a gift in my life because you're a gift to the world, and you counterbalance my fire, okay? The people around here, there's no yes people in here, okay? If you can't check me and tell me that I'm doing something that's not to be done, then you don't deserve to be here, okay? So what I want to instill in you is that a barbell is a wonderful instrument for making yourself better. Getting bigger muscles is a wonderful way to have a better life, okay? And you don't have to sacrifice. We have cracked the code. What we have done is we have figured out how to differentiate and optimize the equal and opposites on both sides. If I coil, and I understand the absolute longest, so my hand there is not a single actin and myosin filament that is not unslacked.
I like that.
To have, if this moves, this moves, this moves, this would, there's no room for injury because there's nothing. If I'm gonna tow the Jeep out of the mud and I don't de-slack the chain, koosh, koosh, oh, it took more than the bumper. Oh, part of the hood. If you take the slack out of the chain, it goes. It's not this bang.
Yes.
Right? And so you have so much to give, and there's certain people who will respond to you better than will respond to me. Okay?
Beautiful.
And that's just the way it is going to work, right? They like blondes and they don't like brunettes. Okay? I'm just saying, right? So the more that we get the story straight by understanding that the answer is polarities understood so that I have the capacity from 0 to 100. So what we want to do is we have to understand that if we establish physical integrity by understanding head over foot, figure eights, the object in motion stays in motion. It's not this like, it's stop, go. That is weak, it is unsustainable, and you will never build the foundation sanctuary for your mind to be strong enough to disagree with the mass. Okay? And so what I'm saying is that if we establish the physical integrity where you have the ability to orchestrate this mathematically precise musical medley of movement, if you can do that, then you can pick up a barbell and you can practice and you can squat to whatever depth is going to suit you. What I say is, do Ben Patrick, full range of motion, do Joel Seedman to 90 degrees, and do the Ben Johnson, the freaking 45 degrees. Just get strong and relate to gait, to swinging, to throwing, to catching, to carrying. Okay, what's more important than water and food right now if you don't have water and food?
To get the water and food, we gotta walk to
You
get there.
have to locomote, you have to swing, you have to throw, you have to catch, you gotta carry. Those are 5 fundamental survival functions.
I want to share with you a little bit more about my story. From saying I can't fight and I can't defend myself, I can either A, get really huge, 5'7", so how huge
I'm gonna break your bone, I'm gonna set it long.
Or there's this thing called jiu-jitsu, which is the little man can defeat the big man with amazing technique. And the UFC, I saw the UFC and I was like, well,
Yeah, UFC 1.
show me that, because there's some small guys that are doing some amazing things and I don't want to get bullied anymore.
Yes.
So I learned how to fight, which is great. From that then came CrossFit. CrossFit, a lot of barbell. CrossFit turned into Olympic weightlifting, into gymnastics, into being inside of a gym to get stronger. Now that I can fight, now the natural thing is, after that, let me get stronger.
You did CrossFit?
Oh yeah, a lot of it. So then I go to running and I cannot run.
Sagittalitis.
And I'm 20
Sagittalitis.
something now. And I have to go deep into the rabbit holes of what's going on in the online world. Why can't I run? I can do everything. I can fight. I can lift a crazy amount of weight in the gym. I can do CrossFit. I can do just about anything. Gymnastics, calisthenics. I can do a handstand. Come on now. And then I go to run and I can't do it. And I have to go into what feels like the dark web to find some information. A guy talking about coiling core, there's all these movement
Did
systems.
you come across me?
No, I didn't come across you. I did not.
Okay. Better not have.
No. Yes, I did it. No, the first person was Gil, who's like, your run sucks, this is why, and he broke it down for me. So he's the first person that talked a lot about the natural things that you promote. One of them being the coiling core, the head over the foot.
Yeah.
And so when you see that, when I watch myself run and there's none of that, my spine is completely upright and straight, then I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, I have to learn this now. That process took me minimum a year.
Why a year?
Until I was good. Until I was good.
I think we could do it a lot faster.
I think you could do it a lot faster.
A lot faster.
100%. Which is why we're constantly.
That's why we're. Listen,
but
this is meant to be.
At the same time, there was so many neurological, muscular repetitions of braced core, upright vertical, sagittalitis.
Incorrect intent.
Correct.
You're trying to do, and because you care and you're a good student, okay, I'm supposed to do this. Well, I'm going to do that really well.
Yeah.
An amazing, world-class athlete, world record, best, in the hunt for best ever kind of thing, Michael Johnson, will tell you that he didn't move his head, right?
Right.
I don't move my head. See my head? Because guess what? He only ever saw this, where it's an optical illusion. You go to the videotape, boom, Michael Johnson. Both hands come down, they bounce up, the head over the foot. His gold chain is going whoo-cha-cha, whoo-cha-cha, whoo-cha-cha.
Efficiency makes you faster. Just in contrast, other than my arms, you don't see any movement at all in the torso.
Come on, right?
What I really care about are what I call just the natural movements of the human body.
Yes.
And I really appreciate that you are a huge proponent, creator, whatever, of head over foot.
It's the most important physical education that you can have.
Head over foot.
Head over foot is the most important
Every single physical education
If you take a step without any impediment imposed upon you that is out of balance, how's God going to feel when he wants to come down and walk around in your shoes, okay? He's going to be ashamed. He's going to be like, I created this.
This guy doesn't even move his spine.
I created this. Fucking lizard over there is smarter than that asshole, and he can do math.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
So head over foot, this is a universal, all humans.
It is the invariant. It is the invariant X on the map. Head over foot. I don't need legs, okay? Imagine these are wood stubs. If I do this, and I do this, and I do this, there's a spinal engine that when I side bend here, it gives me that, and I get to take a step. Feldenkrais said, movement that is good is reversible. Well, how do I reverse gait? Because if I step, I'm committed. Can't stop now. In the textbook, what is it? Oh, it's a series of controlled falls where you recover and you recover and you stumble through life and you're angry and you're mean and your back hurts. When what you do is if it's head over foot, I have the potential. I can now reverse it, right? I can be here, I can be here, I can be here, I can be here.
Okay, let me give you what I believe it is taught in the institutional, what most people think about gait. Most people think about gait, number one, don't have anterior pelvic tilt. You want to tuck your hips, get nice and upright with neutral with spine, brace yourself in the core, be nice and tight. Then it's a controlled fall where we're doing this, and we're doing
right,
and we're doing and we're doing.
That is your conventional.
This is your conventional.
Right.
And is that a correct gait model?
No, because here's why. If I take the freeze frame and I step and the head isn't over the foot, I'm out of balance. So if I put my feet are touching.
This is a great test.
Okay, so if my feet are touching.
Everyone can do this with us.
Well, you gotta look in a mirror because your body's gonna save you, right? So the instruction is even if my feet are touching, and my head stays ramrod straight. So if you look in a mirror, draw a line, right, where it is perfectly straight. Because what's going to happen is you're going to shift to go head over foot if your spine is straight.
That's the first thing that happens.
Exactly.
It's a natural.
Right.
If I'm
it shouldn't be the first thing. It shouldn't be. This lateral shift should not be the first thing that happens because now I didn't move my mass forward. I just shifted here. I didn't go anywhere. I got eaten. I didn't catch the rabbit. So if I'm here and I'm truly holding my head here when I lift, I can watch.
Brace yourself.
I'm gonna
keep
brace.
Neutral spine.
All right, ready?
Keep it neutral.
Damn it! Okay, so
You're
what you
balanced.
do? So what you do is you coil the core, right? So if I do that, look at that. Whop, 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 whop. Oh, where do I want to go? I want to go here. And even when I trip, I don't fall.
This is very important for everyone, all humans, to understand. One of the natural movements that is fundamental is that when you take a step, and when you're on one foot, your head is over that foot. Okay. When you're walking, we need your head to land over your foot.
That's all we need.
We need your head to land
That's
over
all
your
we
foot.
need.
If you're stepping with your left foot, head over the left foot, not your head over here. You don't want to be walking all straight and rigid.
No.
You want a little swag walk, which is natural and looks good, which is head over
that's
foot.
Confidence. Because if you're not in balance, you're not confident at the most fundamental level. If you're not in balance, so imagine you signed a $100 million deal, right? Oh, who's the man, right? I'm George Jefferson, right? Moving on up to the east side. So this is front side, this is locomotive. But I also have a backside coil where bang, if I'm gonna hit a baseball, that's a backside coil.
Yeah. Okay, now you're talking about the second one, which is really important.
Swinging.
I really appreciate it. The coil. What is the coil? Because
the human spine is a bunch of S's, right? So the tailbone tucks under with what's called kyphotic, and then it loops up, and the lumbar comes with the arch that's external, and that's called lordotic, and then the T-spine, or thoracic, does that kyphotic, and then the cervical comes back to lordotic. So it's this spring like this, and because that structure, and this is all outlined by Grakovetsky in The Spinal Engine, it's the most dense book you're going to read. There's about 3 pages that you need to read to understand it, that a side bend will biomechanically result in this counter. The hip is going to come up and forward, and the shoulder's going to come down and back. And now my foot just, if I'm here, right, hard for me to, I'm sliding. I'm like, I have to. If I just do this, then it's 100% free. That hip is high. Boom, right? Boom, boom, bang. Oh.
The opposite of a coil is keeping your spine neutral and bracing yourself. So there isn't any lateral movement, there isn't any rotation,
and now check this out. Whoa, we want to go straight, so we need to be straight. No, your center of mass goes straight when you rotate. Your DNA is spiral. The actin and myosin filaments, they're spiral. The origin, the insertion, is spiral. The universe is spiral, right? We're not just spinning around the sun. The whole thing's vroom, 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 vroom. That's what's happening. This is microcosmic, this is macrocosmic, and everything in between.
Okay, let's do science right now.
Oh, science, science. Let me go get my lab coat. Yeah, science.
Get your lab coat.
Science.
Let's do science right now. We're going to do a game that you and I both enjoy, push hands. Let's do rock, paper, scissors. Loser braces their core, keeps their spine neutral. You ready?
Then we don't even need to do it.
Why?
We already know.
Well, we have to do the science experiment so the kids at home can watch and understand.
I'll play stiff.
You're gonna do it?
Yeah,
I'll play stiff?
Yeah, I'll play stiff.
Okay.
Don't beat me up too bad.
All right.
Right?
We're doing science now. Brace that core.
I'm not allowed to change the angle of my shoulder.
Which is
You
this.
can do that. I'm not allowed to be athletic and win.
Brace your core. Let's do some science.
I cramped.
You cramped. Raise it up, baby. All I gotta do is find an angle and it's
ridiculous.
Here we go. I'm brace it up. In order to brace it up, I need to do a couple pal-offs.
All right. No, square, dummy.
Never done it before.
Come on. You got to follow the science. Come on, do your science. You just don't let me move you.
Okay.
Are you weak or worthless? Which is it? I'm a really good trainer. I do this with everybody. All right, keep on going.
Is it gonna make me strong?
So strong. You feel how stiff and strong you are?
Wait. Okay.
Okay, good.
Give me the other side. Give me the.
Now really put it in, because I'm going to go, right? Okay, good. So you're not allowed to move your shoulders right now? Is that the case? No, we're not playing anymore.
Right,
no, we're moving on.
Science is
We
made
proved the
complete.
point, I hope.
Well, we're
But
going
that's
to go
not
back.
peer
We're going to look at the
review.
tape.
That's anecdotal.
We're going to
no.
objectively look at it.
This is a bad strategy to win a fight. This is a better strategy to win the fight. This is even a better strategy to win the fight. But if I have to run away, I fight. Bam, 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 bam,
So
bam,
what you're
bam.
saying is, in order to be a better athlete, to have more base, to not
Root. I need
to
root.
yourself. In order to root yourself, you need a spine.
You need the funnel.
That is able to coil, side bend, left and right.
Flex, extend, 3 dimensions, okay? This arbitrary, running is a sagittal activity, so we need to train the lateral frontal plane. Okay, yay. It's preposterous. It's always 3D, and it's always 6 degrees of freedom. Come on, you fraud. Be honest, right? The best thing you can do right now, if you're a peer review guy, is come clean, feel the truth for yourself, and you be the one who helps knock over the bucket of crabs, and you lead from the front. Because guess why? We're all going to win in this game at the end. We're all going to win because we're all have no choice, K-N-O-W, choice, to be integral, physical integrity. And you, Mr. I do brace anti-rotation, just come clean. Feel it for yourself. Head over foot. Stop doing the P-L-O-L-L-O-F or the P-L whatever O-V. I don't care what you call it. The belly press. It is a stupid, insidiously harmful exercise that was foisted upon you.
Let me lay down what I think is happening, and you tell me if my perspective is correct. When people were conducting physical, biomechanical science and learning about strength conditioning, which has only been around for maybe 150 years, modern strength conditioning.
Well, there was no personal trainer when I was in high school.
So, yeah.
1988, I graduated. The first personal trainer was like 1986, 87.
So we're developing this idea. We're back now in the 1960, 70, whatever. And we want our athletes, we want our kids to be strong. So we're teaching them to keep their spine in a fixed position, whatever that position is.
Hey, it's criminal because you are dissing grace. And when you diss grace, that is disgraceful.
Let me finish, and then I'll let you roll with it.
Okay.
So we see in the weight room that when somebody has the ability to keep their spine fixed and locked, they're able to put more numbers up. In order to keep their spine fixed and locked, we found out that they need to create a lot of bracing, pushing out external pressurization of the trunk so that the spine stays locked. So now, when I'm in the weight room with these kids, in order to get their numbers higher, spine doesn't move and the core is braced. Then I do a couple studies with this. I have some runners. I have them do a couple of these exercises where their spine is locked and the core is braced and stiff. Maybe their numbers jump up a couple times, and then I come to the conclusion that a braced core and a stiff spine is what we all need. And
Meanwhile,
majority of people are teaching this.
Yes.
To kids, if you go to a private trainer, they're going to tell you, keep your spine locked, which is, they're going to use the word neutral.
That's after they tell you how bad the Bosu ball is and why you're not going to use it. Okay?
So, but is that an accurate, what is happening right now?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate.
How do we get out of that mess?
Oh, it's easy. It's easy.
Yeah.
This right here gets us out of the mess.
I'm going to give you a softball question. You've got a young athlete, you've got somebody like myself who all their life was told in order to be strong, you got to keep that spine straight and braced, and you're going to have more weight in the weight room. And then I come across you and you say, no, we need your spine to actually coil when you're moving, when you're doing martial arts, when you're running. And I say, you show me those things, and I go, okay, now I need to know what that feels like. How are you going to teach me that? That was my softball.
If you want to have more fun in bed, have more fun in bed, have more fun in bed.
Like get better sleep?
Don't brace your core neutral or you won't have more fun in bed. Think about
what
it.
Uncle Weck is saying is
the motion
that you're
into
going
ocean
to have a better
is joint lotion.
time in between the sheets if your spine can move. Undulation.
What's that?
Undulation.
Heck yeah, do the butterfly, baby. Do the butterfly.
No, keep your spine locked and straight and brace.
Well, I'll lay down, you do the work.
I am so sorry to anyone who has had relations with somebody whose spine cannot move. I just want to say
now
to all of humanity.
Let me just say
sorry.
this. Let me just. Yeah, right.
Are you ready for some science?
Yeah.
Okay, so one theory also about human movement that is that we are,
Hey, get in the. Oh yeah.
Flexion, extension. We're doing this. We're doing pistons. A punch is just like this.
It's torsion.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a bicep curl. Brace your spine. You're not allowed to coil, and just give me a bicep curl.
I go up.
Yeah. That piston. This is just a pure what the elbow does. Now, give me a nice fat coil. Sink that elbow back there if you want, even.
Well, I'm gonna park it here.
Boom, right here. You got your coil. Now we're gonna do some science. I'm giving the same amount of body weight pressure. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
You see, what I'm doing is I use my body.
Yeah, use your whole entire body. You're coiling.
Can you do a dip? I'm funneling.
Where this versus when you take the entire system and you rope it, it gets stronger. It's a roping that happens.
So let me see that.
What is this device called, sir?
This is called a piece of rope. So it is the fastest cure for sagittalitis on planet Earth.
What is sagittalitis?
Sagittalitis is this blocky nonsense because I never ever rotate, and I intentionally teach clients to not rotate.
Sagittalitis.
Sagittalitis.
Yeah, I've seen it out on the streets.
So what I do is I'm doing figure eights. I'll show you this way so you can see it. I'm doing figure eights, and I'm shifting my weight. And underhand is our north because that relates to gait. You see how it's the head over foot, timing, right? So that right there is underhand. Now, if I keep the underhand here, that's north, and then I go sideways. See how the rope didn't change? This is cool. So you have the rope doesn't change. Now, if I do this here, now it's overhand, and the rope didn't change. Sideways. Front to here, sideways, here, okay? There, sideways, sideways. We call that the dragon roll. And then we have things called the sneak, where I'm doing that and that.
A traditional track coach is going to teach you.
Is that tobacco on your lip?
No, probably. A traditional track coach, thank you, is going to teach you to keep your spine up, and it's going to teach this.
Yes, correct.
Even though people like yourself, many other people are coming and saying, hey, the head oscillates over the foot from left to right.
Yes.
The spine moves, there's rotation. So why are we still teaching this? We're in that same kind of purgatory where the best technique is not the one that's being taught.
Correct.
Did you just pull out a knife?
Yes.
You just pulled out a knife on me.
Anybody, whoa, if he misses, I'm in big trouble. I'm not recommending that anybody else choose cigars, right? You make up your own choice because you might get cancer. What this does is this gives you that fresh piece.
We talked about some crucial pieces of knowledge that everyone should understand. That when we're walking forward, the head lands over the foot.
Yeah, the most important thing is you want to be in the head over foot Hall of Fame, not in the stiff, straight spine Hall of Shame, right?
Yep.
And you got no one to blame, right? Just don't be lame. This is a game.
Yo, it's rapping now. Second piece of information, which is the coiling core.
Yeah, that's
The
how you do
side
it.
bend,
That's
the
how you
coiling
do.
core.
The coiling core is what
Crucial.
harnesses the spinal engine that allows you to locomote with the head over foot perfection that catches dinner and it gets away. You have the
We have
opportunity.
huge slabs of meat.
Oh, the lats. Your lats are your feet. The lat is the fundamental bridge to the pelvis and the hip to the shoulder. It attaches right in the arm here.
So the third thing that was really helpful for me running was using these devices. Give us the rundown on what this is.
If we have shifting weight, we are gaming the physics by removing the inertia of weight trying to slow down. Solid weight moving fast takes a lot of energy and time to slow it down. When this thing, because it shifts, when it's going down fast, then the weight is at the top, and I get to stop it against no resistance for the weight, and then it hits. So I create this jolt of force, and this is the way Randy Moss and Deion Sanders, Usain Bolt does it with his elbow, boom, right? Christian Coleman does it down here. Justin Gatlin is really low like this. Everything in between, but the ipsilateral arm coming forward, boom. I can create It is physically faster and physically easier to run up a set of stairs with propulsors performed properly than it is empty-handed. I can show you example after example after example, but I didn't write a paper and it's not peer-reviewed. Now, I can also use it to snap a punch, right? So it's creating a jolt. This is an upper body open chain plyometric. No one's ever done it before because no one understood what's hiding in plain sight, because walking as a subject is extremely boring for most people.
Thank you so much for inviting me in here, for connecting me with people like Kador, and for collaborating with some people like myself, other people, and for communicating some very, very crucial knowledge about natural movement and helping humans be more human. This is the Primal Movement Podcast with Bam and David Weck. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
I love it when a plan comes together.